Hey, quick update here on Tuesday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jason Simpson. There's 7-day forecast. Going to get hot. Birmingham's high on Wednesday around 95 degrees. I think some spots may be higher than that, especially from Bessemer west to Tuscaloosa and Aliceville. Even up to 94 in Huntsville, 94 in Gadsden, and 96 in the Montgomery area. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are all impact days because of that heat. And some of these numbers are just outrageous going into the weekend. So what we will look for here in the next few days is not just hot weather, but hot weather and some thunderstorms to go along with it. This is something we've been looking at for the last week or so, the 850 millibar temperature. Here I have it listed as the 5,000 foot temperature, which is roughly where 850 millibars of pressure would be. When we do weather analysis, that's just one way we look at it. And if you were to take the air from 850 millibars from the top there and drop it to the surface, it warms adiabatically. That just means that we are warming it by changing the pressure and its elevation. So we warm from around 22 Celsius would typically warm us at least to the low 90s. So that's going to be a hot day Thursday nonetheless. But as long as we stay dry and the hot air is still pumping in from the northwest, I think we easily get higher than 95 and probably higher than 100 degrees. Then we move forward, and at times there you see that 850 temp pops higher than 25, maybe 26, 27, especially west of Birmingham into northwest Alabama. This could be some of the hottest air that we have seen at this level in Huntsville and the Shoals and over toward Memphis in June since 2012 at least. So very, very hot air coming in. Look at that. We still stay around 22 to 25 C at 5,000 feet through Friday evening into early Saturday. That should easily put us in the neighborhood of some of the heat that we have seen over the last several years. This is the 850 millibar history. Again, about 5,000 feet. That one highlight there is from the end of June 2012 when the 850 temp got between 24 and 25. We had 104 degrees in Birmingham. Nashville had an all-time record high because the heat was centered up that way. This time I think the hottest air is centered a little bit closer to maybe Memphis. So maybe we're not getting record-setting heat, but it could come awfully close to that here across central Alabama and north Alabama. And even through Saturday, the 850 temp still at 21 C or higher. But here's what's going to be happening on Saturday, and this is going to make things a little bit different. You can see the flow here. This is the 850 millibar, 5,000 foot wind kind of flowing around us like that. So it's pretty easy to discern where there's an area of high pressure. It's right here. But in the upper levels, things are starting to change a little bit. That ridge at, say, 500 millibars or, say, 10 to 15,000 feet up is out here, but it's starting to flatten out a little bit. And when they flatten out, the jet stream winds can start to become a little bit more influential, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So we've got kind of a jet stream that looks a little bit more like this coming across Tennessee, and that should be enough to fire off some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So how significant will these storms be for us? Well, let's ask the GFS model what it thinks. So rain and clouds, this is something interesting. It really wants to blow up some thunderstorms that start up here in Tennessee and Georgia and move southwest toward Alabama during the day on Friday. If that happens, I still think we probably touch 100 degrees, but maybe we get some thunderstorms out of it. The problem is if we get thunderstorms out of it at 100 degrees, those are going to be powerful thunderstorms like what we had on Sunday, except maybe even stronger than that with lots of destructive wind and hail. That's if they form. I can't be certain if they form. Then we get a little bit of a break from it. We're still hot on Saturday. That ridge is getting elongated. You got a couple of areas of storms up here in Tennessee, maybe some in the Carolinas. And then there still may be some down here, coastal Florida, coastal Alabama, but not much. Then look at that. Saturday night into Sunday, and then Sunday night into Monday, and then Monday night into Tuesday, the 4th of July, and then on through Wednesday, we see this very active pattern developing, so much so that the jet stream being involved might give us, say, maybe 1 to as many as 3 inches of rain, potentially through next week. Now, that would be helpful in breaking the heat, but it's maybe not exactly what folks are hoping for the 4th of July. So let's talk about that heat index again. Wednesday's high around 95 in Birmingham. We should be in the low to mid 90s for most of the day. Hardly any chance of a shower or storm. But if we did get one, should there be an isolated shower or storm, I think it would probably appear there from about Hamilton to Fayette to Tuscaloosa, Vance, Brent, Centerville, Sprott, southwestward, Greensboro, Utah, Aliceville, Livingston, Demopolis. You got a better shot at it. Then on Thursday, we're forecasting an official high of 101. The 4 p.m. temperature still may be hovering around 99 to 100. We only hit the high for a few minutes a day typically. The feels like, look at that. 111 Calera, 111 Tuscaloosa, 112 Fayette, Gadsden 106, Huntsville 110, Birmingham 107. We've only had a heat index measured in Birmingham of 110 9 times on record. And I pulled the data earlier this morning. Only 9 times on record. And the highest ever is 117 degrees set back in 1999. So this is pretty rare air for us. The same way that big cold back in December was rare, this kind of heat is rare. It may not set records, but it's still rare. We're forecasting a high at 103 on Friday afternoon. High temperatures in the low 100s. A heat index 112, 113, 117, 112, 111, 106. Just a brutally hot Friday. If you can stay indoors, by all means do it. Saturday's a little different. Here's where it starts to matter if we get those scattered storms. Remember, if we get the big blow up on Friday in this zone right here, we probably don't hit 100 degrees Saturday. If we don't get the blow up, 100 certainly in the cards again. And the heat index still 105 to 110 in most places. Then we start to up the ante on scattered showers and thunderstorms Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday itself, Independence Day. Some of these storms could be heavy, and in fact, they may help to lower the temperatures even more than what we have here. But because there's still some uncertainty involved, I don't think that we can completely eradicate the 90s off the 7-day forecast, but at least the scattered thunderstorms are going to help break the heat late in the weekend and going into next week.